Hey y'all, it's Andrea over at Sewspire.com, and I am here as promised to show you how to make this adorable backpack. I think this is perfectly sized for everyday use as a purse or as a small carry-all. For those of you that prefer the backpack to say the crossbody or traditional over-the-shoulder bag, I think you're gonna really like this style. And then as an added bonus, we're going to be hosting a sew along this week where we're gonna come together on a community platform and sew this project together. And I will be there at several points during the process via live stream to answer your questions and check out your beautiful work. So this is very exciting. I hope you will consider joining us. I am going to try and record that so that we can share it with everyone afterwards. I'm not sure how that part of it will work yet, but check the notes for updates. I will keep everyone posted on that. So this video is the full-length tutorial. If you prefer to work alone, you can go ahead and get started. I did want to show you some of the features of the bag. So these straps are adjustable and they are very long, so I feel confident that going with these measurements will fit most body types. But you probably know your measurements better than anyone else, so if you feel you need to shorten them or extend them, that is one of the perks of designing your own bag or sewing your own bag. What makes this design unique are the double handles. So you always have the option of using it kind of like a little briefcase or carry-on there, as well as putting that on your back. It has a zipper top closure, and then on the inside of this bag I put a large zipper pocket that you can put your valuables in or anything you need to keep secure, and then 3 slip pockets. But you definitely could customize your interior pockets to suit your needs perfectly. So that'll be the fun part of the sew along, is to see how everyone makes this design their own. So I encourage you to join us for that. And then as time passes, of course, this video will remain up for everyone else to enjoy. So without further ado, shall we get started? So we're going to begin by crafting all of the straps and tabs for this project, and we'll use my standard strap making method, which, as many of you are familiar, includes a strip of batting down the center there. The straps are all 6 inches wide and then varying lengths. So you're going to take that piece of fabric and fold it in half lengthwise, press that, then open that up and bring those outer edges inward to meet on that center press line, and then press and fold that over again and press. And then I open it back up, and that's when I put the batting that's 3 inches wide by the length of the strap in the middle, and then put everything back together and press one more time. So in total, you will need 2 tabs which measure 6 by 11. For these tabs, I did not put batting in the center. Then you're going to need 2 short handles that measure 6 by 20. And I have my second short handle here crafted. And then you're going to need 2 long shoulder straps which measure 6 by 38 inches long. Okay, so I have pre-stitched all but one of these, so I can show you how to do that. You know how to press it, and then I always start with this open edge here, and I top stitch using 3/8 of an inch seam allowance down the open edge, and then I turn it over and top stitch down the opposite side to finish. For this project, it also looks really nice if you add a third row of stitching right down the center. And then once the handles are crafted, we're going to begin by crafting the exterior of the bag. So there are 2 body panels which measure 11 by 14. And what we're going to do to these is slightly angle the top corners of those. So the easiest way to do that is to position those right sides facing. And both of these panels have quilt batting on the back of them. So I'm just going to take everything together, and then I use a rotary cutter and a mat, which makes this process very simple. You're going to measure in 2 inches from the top and down 3 inches, and then just use your ruler to angle that. And you just cut off that little corner on both sides. So it's 2 by 3. And then you can separate those panels, and we're going to work with them individually. So beginning with the back panel, we want to take a piece of fabric that is 3 inches wide by 11 inches across, and we're going to craft that in the same way as the straps, folding that over. Then the only difference is we're going to open that up, and we're going to use that center press line as a stitch guide. So this handle trim is going to be situated 1 inch from that bottom angle there. Okay, so in total that is 1, 2, 3, 4 inches from center top. And you can go ahead and pin that. And then you're going to take one of your short padded straps and position that underneath of that handle trim until it meets on that center line, and you want to position that 1 inch inward from that top. And same thing on the other side, just come in 1 inch. And these handles are designed just to carry the bag right in hand, and so that's why they are very short. So you're going to repeat the same process and set up your strap on the opposite side. I'm going to bring back over that other panel and just make sure that the handles are lined up nicely and approximately the same distance there, which mine look good. Now I want to stitch this trim and handle in place, and I'm going to do that with 3 rows of stitching. So first across the top, then the center, and then the base to attach the handles and the trim to the exterior. Okay, now the trim is securely attached, but I want to add 1 more row of stitching to the handles just to give those a little more stability. So I'm going to measure up on both sides a 1/2 inch and just mark that. And I'm going to stitch right across there and add one more row of stitching to stabilize those handles. Looks awesome. Now I want to take this handle and just fold it down and out of the way. And I'm going to pin that right there because we want to make sure that we don't stitch through that at any point in the construction process. And now choose the panel that you would like to be the part that's going to go against your back. And we're going to take the tabs that are 11 inches long and have no batting, and we're going to feed a 1.5 inch tri-glide onto those towards the bottom, and then just fold those over and center that. And this tab is going to get positioned at the base, 1 inch in from that bottom right hand corner, and the tab is going to hang over that edge an inch. Here's what that looks like. Now you want to come in and stitch right across that tab very close to the edge. So use a narrow 3/8 of an inch seam allowance and secure all those layers. And I am not going to trim off the excess of those tabs because a lot of weight is going to be positioned on these as the bag is used, and I don't want to risk that this fabric will fray and then that would weaken the tab. Okay, so now we want to take our long straps, which there are 2 of those, and you want to slide one end of that strap through the center of that tri-glide, and then fold over that top edge an inch, and then fold that over one more time, and run 2 rows of stitching to secure that tri-glide at the center on this strap. So the second tri-glide has been secured at center to the strap. So you're going to take that strap and feed that raw edge through the top of that bottom tri-glide, and then bring the tri-glide that's attached to the strap up, and you're going to slide that raw edge through the bottom of that tri-glide and then over the fabric that you attach to the center and through the top. And that's what's going to allow your strap to be adjustable. So now your strap has been attached via the base tri-glide and the tab, and then you have this one raw edge here which you're going to position inward 1 inch from that top, and you want to pin that in place. And once we get both straps attached, we will secure that with a row of stitching. So repeat the same process for the other side. Begin by attaching your tri-glide to your strap at this over the center bar. And then take the raw edge of the strap and feed it up through the rectangular tri-glide at the base. Bring that raw edge over the hump and back under. And then position that raw edge of that strap 1 inch in from the top. And you can have a 1/2 inch overhang there as well, just to keep that strap nice and secure. So double check and make sure your straps are not twisted, and then go ahead and stitch across there to secure these top straps. Now we have to pin all of these straps to the center of this bag so that we don't accidentally catch them in an exterior seam. Good. And now you have your exterior front panel with the single short handle and your exterior back panel with the short handle and your adjustable straps to use as a backpack. So we want to attach the base to the back panel, and the base of this measures 6 by 11. For mine, I'm going to use a nice soft leather. Wax canvas would be awesome for this. A solid duck or twill would be awesome. A laminated cotton. I just think it's fun to choose something that's very durable for the base of the bag. You could easily just as well use the cotton. If you go with the cotton though, make sure that you use some batting or interfacing to stabilize that. So I'm going to position that base panel aligning with the base of that exterior rear panel, and I'm going to stitch across there to secure that. And for this, I'm going to use 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. And that's what it looks like with the base attached. I'm going to set that aside and bring over the front of the bag, and the side panels for the front measure 6 by 11 as well, and there are 2 of those, and they are also backed with quilt batting. And so I want to position those aligning the base and the side with the right sides facing. You want to make sure that you're not going to catch this strap in your 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. And now you can just stitch down the right and the left hand side to attach those side panels. Okay, and then when you open that up, that's what that looks like. So we are using the T method to construct this. So now you want to bring back over that exterior panel and position that right sides facing, and go ahead and line up that base with the base of that front panel, and then put 2 pins in there to hold that. And you're going to stitch right across there from seam to seam. Turn that around for you. You're going to stitch seam to seam. So again, just noting, I did not stitch all the way to the edge of the base, just to the seam of that front panel. Okay, so now I have something that looks like a big T. I want to bring up those side panels and align them. And this gets a little bit tricky, so go ahead and use that top angle as your guide. You're falling just a 1/4 inch short of that because you want 5/8 of an inch overlap at the base. And I'll show you what that looks like once I get that pinned in place. So at the base here, you're going to be overlapping that 5/8 of an inch, okay? And then this is just a 1/4 inch from that, where that angle is at the top. Okay, so now that I have the sides in place, I'm going to stitch from the top to that seam. So I'm stopping 5/8 of an inch from the base of the side panel, but right at that seam. And you can feel that with your hand. Now the sides have been attached. It is a jumble of straps inside of there. And I have my standard 2 holes at the base of this where I still need to align the base of the side with the side of the base and then stitch seam to seam to secure that. Alright, and now the exterior is complete, and I'm just going to turn that around for fun so we can see what it looks like. Super cute. I love these fabrics. Very fun. Okay, and then we're going to have to turn it back right side out because when we insert the lining in there, they're going to go together right sides facing. So for now we're done with the exterior and we're going to begin working on the interior.